offices, sure, you know, there was nothing there. So I'm looking at who is in his right frame of mind will come and even remove curtains, you know, I mean, window blinds, remove rugs or carpets, remove almost everything, because I mean, everything was bare. So would that be the chairman of the local government or the vice chairman who would descend so low? So is it possible that there's some other people who also came in after they might have left and then stripped the entire place?
Yes, you know, under normal circumstances, governance or government is continuum, as we used to say. If that happened, that is still a kind of proof of deliberate, or what I can call discretional laxity on the person, on the part of the person leaving an office. You must put measures in place to secure an office you want to leave. By the time we are leaving this studio, as the head of this place, you want to give instructions as to make sure this place is properly managed. If you have an assignment in Abuja as a journalist and you are the head of this place, you make sure instructions are laid so that perhaps your subordinate will not mess up the place. And I told you as well that people derive, even if that happened, people derive inspiration or motivation of their action from the kind of leadership at a time and anywhere. If a leader is not seen to misbehave or to be misbehaving, it is practically impossible for followers not to sit tight, not to sit up. Take for instance our governor, our new governor. I was privy to his itinerary on Sunday / Monday. I was wondering, this man was not going to resume on Monday. Some of us were even taking him for granted. He was the first to resume in office on Monday, after sleeping by around 4 a.m. in the morning. Personally, I was marveled as well. So since that day, even myself, this morning, so you know, at times when I want to come here, perhaps the program would have started. So I've adjusted myself too. I've taken my bath as early as 5 o'clock.
So you still put in the blame, you know, on the doorsteps of the
that is the fact.
Okay,
that is the fact.
If, for instance, Oladbamiji, if I, you know, buy an air conditioner for my quarters, for instance, because I've spoken to some of them, and they said, I mean, so one of them painted that scenario, said, for instance, in my quarters, I bought the air conditioner there. Are you expecting me to leave it when I'm leaving? I donate it to the person coming. You know, is that not possible? Would you not want that person to go away with his air conditioner?
You are probably painting a scenario of Mr. Femi Olanipekun being richer than the whole of Osun State. I beg of you, sir. Even here, I don't know. You have your office. I don't know what you have bought or brought yourself to this place. This organization must have provided amenities to make you comfortable as a staff of this place. Don't be swayed. I don't want anyone in this state to be swayed by that insinuation that people bought things themselves.
You don't believe it. You don't believe people can spend money
perhaps whatever you have,
do some luxury for themselves.
Perhaps maybe your attires in your wardrobe,
but not
you want to put on things that will befit you. Perhaps toys for your kids, so that
but not ACs, not TV sets, nothing like that.
I'm very sure you are conversant with the workings of government. Government buy all these things.
All right.
These properties were looted, and we are not going to sit back and watch them looted just because we don't want to offend sensibilities of some people. Those assets must be recovered for the good, for the well-being of the state.
All right. Well, let's leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We hope to see you again and again on Morning Spring and all of our other shows. Mr. Oladele Bamiji, the Director of Publicity of the People's Democratic Party here in Osun. So thanks more for coming.
Thank you, too. Thank you for having me.
All right, so that's the first part of the show, the interview. We'll be getting the other side here. We'll be getting someone from the APC, one of the outgoing officials of government who come to defend these allegations, also respond to these allegations after the break.
Piole, King Eve, how are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she's not giving the right answer to the question. When one asks you, how are you, and you said, you're saying, I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine will be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
Go and check all these 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and he feels so reserved. He really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe he's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though if he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You need me emotionally, you need me spiritually.
Cassie is an amazing person, but I hate the too much attachment to that gender. I need you spiritually, I need you mentally. I can get these things anywhere with money. If you go by the topic was, who does marriage favors the most? I know how many jobless women they marry every Saturday. They are saying it favors you, favor. Are they vague so?
Growing up, when I was in the world, we've heard of
Well, you know.
Well, MC Too Much said, he likes saying when I was in the world. And the last time I checked, well, it looks a bit innocent, initially, but deep down, he's actually out of this world. We're all in the world now. As long as you're alive, you're in the world. So, MC Too Much, I beg when you talk about that. I don't want to hear that. Next time you talk about I kiss my voice.
I think I have a problem with you saying ladies are champion, and that's the problem. Always trying to attach too much importance to that gender.
It's giving insecurity, it's giving low self-esteem, it's giving a blatant display of egoism. Because at the end of the day, a man who is secured in his worth, a man who is confident of who he is, will not really be disturbed as to whether women are being referred to as champions or not. I mean, at the end of the day, Joseph's a really great guy, but whether he likes it or not, women are champions.
Jáde mọ̀rìnwó la kọ́kọ́ rí ọwọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ ní síwájú ìjó ẹsẹ̀ katakata ní síwájú rìn bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń gbúrò wa a tún ti dé náà nù ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Owambe Unlimited pẹ̀lú èmi ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín ọ̀rẹ́ yín Suliat tẹ́túmọ̀ sí Morenikeji ẹ lè pè mí ní Susu tó bá wẹ̀ lómi a sọ pé ìyálòde àríyá gbogbo orúkọ tẹ́ ẹ bá pè mí kò sí èyí tí mi ò ní jẹ yín ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò Owambe Unlimited lórí ìkànnì Western Spring Television ní ìkànnì 190 ibẹ̀ ni Owambe Unlimited ń bọ̀ wá ẹ fàpùrẹ̀ tẹ̀dí kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò àríyá wa.
Wọ́n sọ fún yín pé ẹ máa wo Owambe Unlimited lórí Western Spring Television.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
And your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
On this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
According to the words of Michael Forbes, one who never asks questions either knows everything or nothing. Watch me as I ask the questions you think no one wants to answer. Even questions it appears no one has got the guts to ask. My name is Femi Adefila, and I've got the gut. Let's ask the pertinent questions and watch as we get answers.
Western Spring Television, ours it is.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what-ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
and your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
On this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
Bẹ́gùn ọba jáde, mọ̀rìnwó la kọ́kọ́ rí, ọwọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ ní síwájú ìjó, ẹsẹ̀ katakata ní síwájú rìn, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń gbúrò wa, a tún ti dé náà nù, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Owambe Unlimited, pẹ̀lú èmi ọmọ yín, olólùfẹ́ yín, ọ̀rẹ́ yín, Suliat tẹ́túmọ̀ sí Mọ́rẹ́níkejì, ẹ lè pè mí ní Sùsù, tó bá wẹ̀ lómi, a sọ pé ìyálòdì àríyá, gbogbo orúkọ tẹ́ ẹ bá pè mí, kò sí èyí tí mi ò ní jẹ yín, ẹ farabalẹ̀, kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò Owambe Unlimited lórí ìkànnì Western Spring Television ní ìkànnì 190. Ibẹ̀ ni Owambe Unlimited ń bọ̀ wá ẹ fàkùrẹ̀ tẹ̀dí kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò àríyá wa.
Wọ́n sọ fún yín pé ẹ máa wo Owambe Unlimited lórí Western Spring Television.
Èdè Yorùbá jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn èdè tí wọ́n ń sọ ní agbègbè Niger Congo. Èdè Yorùbá gbajúgbajà ní àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó ń bẹ ní ẹkùn ìwọ̀ oòrùn ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. Ó kéré tán, àwọn ènìyàn bíi mílíọ̀nù 14 ló ń sọ èdè Yorùbá lónìí. Ètò akọ́mọlédè ló ń dé sójú ìwòran yín láti iléeṣẹ́ móhùnmáwòrán WSTV ìkànnì 150 channel 190 lórí Star Times. Folúṣọ́ Ayaolúwagbémiga ìyá ìjọ pèdèpèdè ìyá àkọ́mọlédè ló kọ tèmi. Yorùbá dùn púpọ̀, Yorùbá ò lè kú, Yorùbá ò lè parun. Tiwa làṣà, tiwa lèdè, tiwa nìṣẹ̀ṣe àkọ́mọlédè.
How would you like a TV station that breaks the barriers of your TV screen? A TV station that brings infotainment to your forefront, breaking the conceptual fourth wall. Giving you television that is personal to you and your everyday life. Indigenous broadcasting for every man, cutting across the shackles of age, class, and language. With the best of equipment in digitized broadcasting. At Western Spring Television, your television experience has never been this magical.
We'll bring you the best in news and programs, breaking news to you as it drops from where it drops.
Talk shows that keep you glued to your seats, sports programs not void of in-depth analysis, entertainment programs cutting across all ages, political analysis with all its accompanying controversies, social responsibility because we care. Western Nigeria gave us our first feel of television. Western Spring Television is taking us to the next level.
Turn it up! It's the Wild Wild West, and Western Spring Television is pulling out all the stops to make sure that you don't miss out on every of the fun and happenings around you. Yup, we've got you covered because your girls got all the juiciest tidbits and entertainment news from around the world. Cross over to the chocolatey side of entertainment. Join me, Chocolate Cassie, on Eccentric as we take you into every bit of the juiciest news, fashion, music, movie updates, and other trending conversations. Together on the show, we'll get personal with your favorite celebrities via phone call, Zoom, or even live here in the studio. Eccentric will be showing on your TV screen on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes.
Evelyn Ohiole, King Eve. How are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she's not giving the right answer to the question. When one asks you, how are you? And you said, you're saying, I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine will be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
Go and check all these 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and he feels so reserved. He really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe he's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though if he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You need me emotionally. You need me spiritually.
Cassie is an amazing person, but I hate the too much attachment to that gender. I need you spiritually, I need you mentally. I can get these things anywhere with money. If you go by the topic was, who does marriage favors the most? You know how many jobless women they marry every Saturday? They are saying it favors you, favor. Are they vague so?
Growing up, when I was in the world, we've heard of
Who are you now?
Well, MC Too Much said, he likes saying when I was in the world. And the last time I checked, well, it looks a bit innocent, facially, but deep down, is actually out of this world. We're all in the world now. As long as you're alive, you're in the world. So, MC Too Much, I beg when you talk about that. I don't want to hear that. Next time you talk about I kiss my words.
I think I have a problem with you saying ladies are champion, and that's the problem. Always trying to attach too much importance to that gender.
It's giving insecurity, it's giving low self-esteem, it's giving a blatant display of egoism. Because at the end of the day, a man who is secured in his words, a man who is confident of who he is, will not really be disturbed as to whether women are being referred to as champions or not. I mean, at the end of the day, Joseph's a really great guy, but whether he likes it or not, women are champions.
Jáde mọ̀rìnwó la kọ́kọ́ rí ọwọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ ní síwájú ìjó ẹsẹ̀ katakata ní síwájú rìn bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń gbúròó wa a tún ti dé náà nù ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Owambe Unlimited pẹ̀lú èmi ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín ọ̀rẹ́ yín Suliat tẹ́túmọ̀ sí Mọ́rẹ́níkejì ẹ lè pè mí ní Sùsù tó bá wẹ̀ lómi a sọ pé ìyálòdì àríyá gbogbo orúkọ tẹ́ ẹ bá pè mí kò sí èyí tí mi ò ní jẹ yín ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò Owambe Unlimited lórí ìkànnì Western Spring Television ní ìkànnì 190 ibẹ̀ ni Owambe Unlimited ń bọ̀ wá ẹ fàpùrẹ̀ tẹ̀dí kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò àríyá wa.
Wọ́n sọ fún yín pé ẹ máa wo Owambe Unlimited lórí Western Spring Television.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
and your sports Amazon, Nengi Enes.
On this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
According to the words of Michael Forbes, one who never asks questions either knows everything or nothing. Watch me as I ask the questions you think no one wants to answer. Even questions it appears no one has got the guts to ask. My name is Femi Adefila and I've got the gut. Let's ask the pertinent questions and watch as we get answers.
Thank you so much for joining us again. It's on to Morning Spring and it's reaching you from Western Spring Television. Check us out on channel 190 Star Times DTT and also on YouTube Western Spring Television. Do remember to click on the subscribe button when you check our YouTube channel. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On Twitter is WSTV_NG and on Instagram and Facebook is at Western Spring Television. So we have our second guest joining us now. We have the immediate past field advisor to the governor on political affairs, Oluomo Sunday Akere. He's also the director of operations of the APC in Osun. Thank you so much for joining us on Morning Spring this morning, Oluomo Sunday Akere.
Good morning, Femi. It's good to be with you. Happy New Month to everybody there.
Thank you. Happy New Month to you too. Well, so these allegations by the Adeleke administration that your the Oyetola administration and some of your colleagues in government, where you are there, stripped all of the state of its assets, that vehicles, official vehicles, that you know, assets in government quarters were stripped bare. You know, if you heard what the deputy governor said and some of the videos going viral and some local governments, nothing was left. What's the true position of things? Did you and your colleagues go away with government assets when you left power on Saturday/Sunday morning?
Thank you very much, Femi. It's quite unfortunate that the current government is running an administration as if there is nobody that has any experience on how government is run in the past. When you come into office, the civil servants are there to lead you, to direct you, to guide you in whatever ways. The issues are clear. As a political office holder, functionaries of government, when you are given official quarters, they should tell us what are in those quarters. I could remember that in 2011 when I became a commissioner here in Osun, I was given an official quarters. There was virtually nothing in the quarter. So if the governor now gives me money to buy things in my own name to equip my quarters, by the time I'm leaving, you don't expect me to leave it. Whoever comes there after me will buy his own. By the time we were leaving office in 2014, all the commissioners that served with Ogbeni Rafael Aregbesola, we were asked to take away our official vehicles, and efforts did not fall. The same thing the governor did. The governor has the prerogative, has the right to do things and take decisions. It is quite unfortunate that the current administration, they are behaving as if they have come into power since the 17th of July, when their party was said to have won an election. The first term tenure of Alhaji Isiaq Adeboye Oyetola ran out midnight 26, Saturday 26th of November. And he has the right to take decisions. As the governor, he can ask his aides to go away with the official cars. If anybody now take anything outside what the governor instructed, that is what can be an issue. You cannot be given your official car as a commissioner, and somebody will now tell you that you cannot take it away. The PDP and the current administration, they should take their time to study the terrain. They should learn the tricks, they should learn the ladder, they should learn how to run an administration. Government is not run on the media. It is not run by people just coming on here to say anything, and they will come back the following day to start recounting it and telling us that they did not say it. Nobody strips any government quarters. Whoever is given a government quarters, nothing is there. The governor will give you money as one of his aides to equip your quarters in your name. The money is given in their name, and when they are leaving, you don't expect me that I will buy a television, I will buy a fridge in my name, and I will leave it for somebody else. They even know it. Even if you leave it before the next occupier comes, the civil servant will know what to do and pack those things away so that the next occupier will buy his own. That is seen from time immemorial. Nobody stripped any quarters. They are free to do their panel, but the issues we are saying is this: before they even set up panels, they have been making pronouncements. That means the panel they are setting up, they want them to walk to the answer. We will not take that.
So you are saying that, you know, I mean, it will be good for us to disaggregate the issues here. You're saying that, for instance, the vehicles, the governor, the outgone governor, Oyetola, you know, gave you the leeway, allowed all of the political appointees to go away with the vehicles. Is that what you're saying, sir?
The people that served with him in cabinet, that he gave official car. For example, I served, I didn't have an official car, so he didn't ask me to take any car away. But those that served in his cabinet were asked to go with their cars, and nobody can take it away from them. I served a tenure 2011 to 2014 with Ogbeni. The official car he gave me is in my compound till today. Even if I don't have it, it is there. It is the governor's prerogative to ask his aides to go away with whatever, and he sign it and authorize it.
So then that explains for the car. I mean, we'll come back to that. But for the other things, so they said in some of the quarters, nothing was met. No fittings, no cuttings.
I've spoken on that, Femi. When you are giving official quarters, nothing is there. The people that were there before us, I told you, for example, in 2011, I was given quarters 3 inside the GRA. Nothing was there. And the governor gave me money, okay, buy this, equip your quarters. I can say, not even spend the money. I can tell not to buy anything.
Well, so, you know, if it is the governor, so, sorry for cutting in, pardon for cutting in, if it is the governor that gives it, that means it's the state's money. So if the state is the one that provided that, why should you go away with it?
It's my personal entitlement as a commissioner or as a functionary of government.
So I mean, the money used in purchasing it.
Before PDP was there before. PDP was there before we came. What did they leave in the quarters when they were leaving? They should tell us in 2010 when the administration changes, what did they leave in the official quarters before they handed over?
So you're saying it's the tradition?
It is tradition. The government gives you money to keep your quarter when you are going to take your past TV. You don't expect you to live in there. It is tradition. When we came in 2011, nothing was inside the quarters. Nothing. You are the ones that will innovate this. You are the one that will paint this. You are the one that will furnish it. And when I'm living, when I wanted to leave my quarters.
So these renovations, yes, these renovations and fixing of things, I want to be clear. Is it by the individual's money or through government's money? Individuals. Given to them by the state or by their own money?
By their own what?
No, so I mean that the individual.
And the governor.
Oh, so I mean, so that means it's the money of
the governor to renovate and furnish their quarters, and in their own name, individual's name, not given to any ministry. If it's for the government, give it to the ministry or whatever, or the agency of government do this. That is, they know they should have the same that do that are there. There is nothing anybody lives in met in the quarters when it took over. Nothing.
So you're saying they're just crying over spilled milk here, that this is a no issue at all?
They're just crying over spilled milk. They are just, it is as if they don't know, it's as if they were never prepared. For goodness sake, they prepare for an election, they have a manifesto. Even after winning the election, they have clear 4 months to prepare for the takeover. They are just crying as if they are just being exposed to the rudiments of running government for the first time.
You know, but some of those who are raising issues with this, just before I let Emmanuel come in, are saying, you know, in a state like Osun that has financial challenges, why should it be such that every government comes in and then starts buying again all over again, you know, all of these things for its new officials? Why can't we transit from one to the other and so that we were able to conserve funds? You do not see it from that perspective, Oluomo.
Well, if you are starting that, you will be starting now. There has been a policy, there has been a policy that has been in operation for years since the creation of the state, and it cannot change today. They would have started with late Governor Isaac Adeleke. They did not leave their properties in the quarters when they left. Those that served during the military administrator's tenure, they did not leave it. Those that served with Chibisa Kande, Prince Olamide, you know, that they didn't leave it. When we served with Ogbeni Aregbesola, we made nothing in the quarters. It is my own prerogative to furnish my quarter the way I want, and when I'm leaving, I will take my things away. It is not my house. Even it is not my house, it is government quarters, and I will leave it the way I met it. And for goodness sake, this governor, we know that there is financial challenges in Osun, but this is a governor that have been prudent, that have been meticulous in the handling of state finances. We left 40 billion for this administration, and it has never happened in the history of the state.
So you just, I mean, one final question from me. You personally, you were not given an official vehicle, so you did not take away any official vehicle. I did have
for the period I served as special advisor, so nobody can say that I took a car away. Nobody gave me a car.
Okay.
All right. I'd like to take you up on what you said about the cars. You said the governor has the prerogative to ask his cabinet members to go away with the official cars. Is it the same for other people who did not serve in the administration of the in the cabinet of the governor? Let me give an instance. The PDP is alleging, for example, now that your government is auctioning government vehicles for as low as 20,000 naira. And about last week or 2 weeks ago, there was a letter that went viral. I don't know if you can see that letter, if it will be displayed for you. Has the letterhead of the Osun State College of Education, Ilaragun, the office of the registrar, approval for release of official vehicles to the outgone principal officers of the college. I'll take the last paragraph. You are therefore requested to report to the officer in charge of the Department of Works and Services for proper delivery of the vehicle to you upon payment of depreciation value of a total sum of 20,000 naira only. No, not that particular, this is a different letter. I would like to see the second letter, the one with the Osun State College of Education. Now, can you speak to that letter? Is it the same with the cabinet members being asked to go away with their cars? Is it the same thing for principal officers of colleges?
When I left office 26th of November 2014, and the governor asked me to go away with my car, I didn't pay a dime. We were only issued letters authorizing that the cars are released to us, and I don't know how you come about auctioning cars for 20,000. We have bodies of auctioneers that handle auctioning in the state of Osun, and I don't think it is the duty of officials of government to venture into that. When we left during our own tenure, we didn't pay 1 naira for the official vehicles that the governor released to us.
Okay, so you're saying that you cannot speak to this letter because you are not, you don't have any information on it?
I can't speak to it because I don't know how the issue of auctioning. If it is auctioning, there is a body of auctioneers that handle auctioning for the government, and I think that they could be able to explain it better. But for official vehicles, you don't have to pay 1 naira when it is released officially to you.
All right, so you made a statement yesterday asking the PDP government to be very specific about the allegations that they are making so that you know what to respond to. Now, they have said quite a number of things, fittings that you've also spoken to, but there are also allegations of people eloping with government cars, the ones that were not probably discharged or asked to go away with those cars. Have you heard of any report of that?
For goodness
yes, that's the letter. If you can see your screen.
For goodness sake, I can see the letter, but I can't see it clearly. Yeah. But for goodness sake, if anybody eloped with vehicles that were not officially allotted to them, they should retrieve that one. That is never, the governor will never be part of that. Whoever is going to be given anything, the governor will authorize it and sign it off for him or her. But anybody that goes with a vehicle not officially authorized, definitely those ones will be received. I too cannot be part of condoning illegality.
Before your administration ended, there were also insinuations and allegations from the PDP that some equipment of the government were being used to run personal businesses. There were some allegations of a particular generator from the local government chapel or something being used to run a business. Did that happen in your administration? Are you aware of any government equipment being misappropriated or being appropriated for personal use?
I'm not in the knowing of any government equipment being misappropriated or being misused or being converted to personal use by anybody. The PDP, for goodness sake, they should be factual. They should come out with their facts. Okay, this ministry, this equipment, let us know it and let us call those people that were in charge to come and explain themselves. They are just raking out allegations as if we have never had a government here before. It is never done. Government is a continuum. Liabilities and assets of government, you inherit them. When Alhaji Boyega took over, he inherited what is left by when you have Forever Shola, and he left a legacy of profitability and functioning economic situation in the state of Osun. There is no governor that can say that with the Obongo's job done by the administration, you can still leave 14 billion in the coffers of the government.
Okay, so, just to get some clarifications more on the cars. So, for those who have backup cars also, did the governor sign off that one for them to take away too?
I have said it, Femi, that the governor, when I was in government, I had a backup car, I have an official car. The governor gave me authority to take away the official car. I left the backup car in the ministry there. So whoever takes away what is not authorized to them, the new administration has the right to instruct them that they should return it. I cannot say anybody is given a backup car to take away. I never took away my own backup car when I was leaving office. I only took my official car, which the governor authorized that I should take away with a written and signed letter.
All right. So, for these now, the Adeleke administration has set up a committee headed by Dr. B.T. Salam for this asset recovery. Are you worried that some of your colleagues who have gone away with some of these vehicles, you know, with the fact that the governor, the outgone governor, signed it off for them, give them the approval to do so, are you worried that they may be called to question? Those vehicles may be retrieved from them?
I don't think the new government has the right to retrieve it from them, because the governor, sitting governor, has the right to authorize anything till the last day of his administration. If the governor signed off that his commissioner should take away his official vehicle, nobody has the right to take it from them. They would rather meet them in court.
But so this new government is saying that all of those assets, all of those vehicles will be recovered. In fact, they've given your colleagues some ultimatum, maybe a week or thereabout, for them to return the vehicles, or else they will face the full wrath of the law.
The vehicles that were not officially authorized should be recovered. I'm not angry about that. But for those that were officially given to commissioners and cabinet members that are leaving, nobody can take them from them. They have been issued letters, and the letters that they have been issued authorized that they should take vehicles away. And for you to do that, to say you want to take the vehicle forcefully, definitely that's going to be a legal issue.
Okay, so 2 days ago, at the inauguration of those committees, the Deputy Governor, Kola Adewusi, made reference to his own situation. He said his own law, the Deputy Governor's law, there is barely nothing there. He said everything was stripped bare. You know, we've just talked about vehicles, but for the lodge and the way the Deputy Governor spoke, it appears that everything, including fittings, blinds, was stripped completely. How do you explain that? The Deputy Governor, the outgoing Deputy Governor went away with all of those things, or how do you explain what the current Deputy Governor is saying about all fittings, everything stripped bare in his lodge?
Well, for me, it is unfortunate that we are hearing things like this, but the fact remains that the Deputy Governor cannot leave his official quarters and start packing things that doesn't belong to him. The issues, I don't want to be quoted out of context. We know it. The moment you leave your official quarters or your official, some other people will come there and take whatever they want to take before the inventories are taken on the place allocated to another person. You don't expect the Deputy Governor to start now taking spoons, taking this from the kitchen. It's not even done.
So you're saying the Deputy Governor, Benedict Alabi, never, you know, will not descend so low to take some of those things. Is that what you're saying?
It is not descend to we can't descend to the level of taking spoons, taking cutlery from the kitchen. But I don't want to be quoted, but I know our administration, the moment the man leaves the quarter, some people will go there and take what they want to take before the new coming instead people takes over. And that is the law. The Deputy Governor will tell you what he left in the quarters, and those people that took charge or are in charge of the queue will tell you what they met there.
So who are these people, Luomo? This is what you're talking about.
I don't know. I'm not in charge of government inventory.
And is it
civil servants that are in charge of they are the ones that are in charge of the inventory and they lock up the place.
And is it not also incumbent on the Deputy Governor, for instance, to ensure that what he's leaving is not taken away by other persons? Is it not incumbent on him to ensure that that place is left the way he's leaving it so that nothing is missing?
Well, one thing I am sure of is that by the time he's leaving, if we have a record of what he left in the place, anybody that goes there to take anything out of it, definitely that is not his own business because it's not there.
But so this issue, you know, degenerated to a lot of, you know, to a level that is become a brickbat between the APC and now the PDP government. You know, how do you intend to, I mean, are you concerned, I ask the question again, about your colleagues? Because the tone of the message, of the statement issued by the governor's spokesman yesterday is such that all of these properties, all of these assets will be recovered. So there seems to be a conflict here. The outgoing governor gave an order that has been complied with by the officials of his own administration. Now, this incoming governor is saying all of those things will be recovered. We won't have a conflict here, Oluomo.
And that's why I'm saying that when we get to the law court, the court will educate and tell us whether the governor that is exiting has the right to ask people that work with him to do this or not, or whether the incoming governor has the right to retrieve what has been legally given to the people that work with the former governor.
All right. I would like to thank you most sincerely, Oluomo Sunday Akere, for joining us this morning and shedding some light on these issues. We appreciate your time on Morning Spring on Western Spring Television.
Thank you, Western Spring, for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you very much, sir. Oluomo Sunday Akere is the former special advisor to the governor, Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, on political matters. He joined us via Zoom there. He's also the director of operations of the APC. So, I mean, some interesting takes here. We don't know how these will end.
Of course, we don't know how it will end. It's interesting to see that to hear now that the governor signed off on those vehicles and assigned them to the people who worked in his cabinet. It's also interesting to see that some, like Oluomo just said, he could not speak to some of the other facts presented, like the letter. So we may hear that maybe some persons have acted.
Yeah, so I mean for the letter,
yes.
That's for his school.
His school.
It's not directly under, you know, so the management of the school perhaps might have done that, and they will need to answer.
They will need to answer for it.
That. But that's the show this morning. Emmanuel will still come back. Will it be possible for you to come and do what's
trending today? We'll meet tomorrow,
okay.
The TGIF edition of Spring Trends.
All right, thank you so much. Femi Olanikwekun is my name. See you tomorrow. And
Emmanuel Ojiadigele is my name. Remember to follow us on all our social media handles at Facebook and Instagram, Western Spring Television. On Twitter is at WSTV_NG. You can also follow me on Twitter at EM Ojiadigele, and you can follow the old man Femi on Twitter at FM Olanikwekun.
Thank you. That's the show. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
and your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
On this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
Bẹ́gùn ọba jáde mọ̀rìnwó la kọ́kọ́ rí ọwọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ ní síwájú ìjó ẹsẹ̀ katakata ní síwájú rìn bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń gbúrò wa a tún ti dé náà nù ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Owambe Unlimited pẹ̀lú èmi ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín ọ̀rẹ́ yín Suliat tẹ̀túmọ̀ sí Morenikeji ẹ lè pè mí ní Susu tó bá wẹ̀ lómi a sọ pé ìyálòdì àríyá gbogbo orúkọ tẹ́ ẹ bá pè mí kò sí èyí tí mi ò ní jẹ yín ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò Owambe Unlimited lórí ìkànnì Western Spring Television ní ìkànnì 190 ibẹ̀ ni Owambe Unlimited ń bọ̀ wá ẹ fàkùrẹ̀ tẹ̀dí kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò àríyá wa.
Mo ń sọ fún yín pé ẹ máa wo Owambe Unlimited lórí Western Spring Television.
Èdè Yorùbá jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn èdè tí wọ́n ń sọ ní agbègbè Niger Congo. Èdè Yorùbá gbajúgbajà ní àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó ń bẹ ní ẹkùn ìwọ̀ oòrùn ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. Ó kéré tán, àwọn ènìyàn bíi mílíọ̀nù 14 ló ń sọ èdè Yorùbá lónìí. Ètò akọ́mọlédè ló ń dé sójú ìwòran yín láti iléeṣẹ́ móhùnmáwòrán WSTV ìkànnì 150 channel 190 lórí Star Times. Folúṣọ́ Ayaolúwagbémiga ìyá ìjọ pèdèpèdè ìyá akọ́mọlédè ló kọ tèmi. Yorùbá dùn púpọ̀, Yorùbá ò lè kú, Yorùbá ò lè parun. Tiwa làṣà, tiwa lèdè, tiwa nìṣẹ̀ṣe, àkọmọ̀lédè.
Turn it up! It's the Wild Wild West. And Western Spring Television is pulling out all the stops to make sure that you don't miss out on every of the fun and happenings around you. Yup, we've got you covered because your girl got all the juiciest tidbits and entertainment news from around the world. Cross over to the chocolatey side of entertainment. Join me, Chocolate Cassie, on Eccentric as we take you into every bit of the juiciest news, fashion, music, movie updates, and other trending conversations. Together on the show, we'll get personal with your favorite celebrities via phone call, Zoom, or even live here in the studio. Eccentric will be shown on your TV screen on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes.
Evelyn Ohiole,
Hi.
King Eve. How are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she's not giving the right answer to the question. When one asks you, how are you? And you said, you're saying, I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine will be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
Go and check all these 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and it feels so reserved. It really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe it's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though if he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You will be emotional.